Alrighty, was this figure worth $40 plus? Let's give it a look. Alright, so before I get into this, I'm gonna say I think it's pretty known on my channel that I don't really collect Marvel Legends that much. At least I don't collect them as much as I used to. But, however, they have been dropping some cool stuff. Hasbro has announced The Legend of Zelda and some more, and they've dropped these Rivals figures. I like the design of Rivals, just not a big fan of the game in itself. I've grown to really dislike it because it's a very, very poorly designed game, in my opinion, in some aspects. But this isn't about the game. This is about the figure here, Moon Knight. This guy alone was priced $40 alongside Luna Snow and Spider-Man, which Spider-Man is basically just an accessory in that 2-pack, to be honest, because he doesn't even come with 2 sets of the same hands, and that's really all they did with him. Punisher was $34, but he's bigger and bulkier, and then Venom was like $64 alongside Jeff. Jeff doesn't have any articulation. I don't know why. They give it to their dogs and the wolves in G.I. Joe line. So for a line like this, which in my opinion, you're making a game specific line and stuff like that. It's got its own deluxe packaging in the center third. Why is the figure not really feel deluxe? So some problems that I came into with this guy was the limited upper torso articulation. He could only go back. He was not able to go forward at all. Mind you, in his MVP, he's fully crouched and doing the cape spread and stuff like that. I had to do this. Oh my goodness. I had to do this here. And I dremeled a little bit of the torso, and I might go back and dremel it some more, I can't lie, to at least give him some sort of articulation. And it pops back in. Now it wants to be stubborn, but it pops back in just like that, and it's not loose or nothing. But he can go back, he can go forward a little more and stuff like that. He can go forward just a little bit more as opposed to what he was able to do, but he still goes back a lot more. So, it's sort of a lose-lose situation, but in my opinion, it is better than nothing. And plus, like, he can go side to side a little more, which was another thing he couldn't do, was going side to side. So now he can get into a little more dynamic poses. However, this guy doesn't have butterfly joints, and he doesn't have, neck articulation, which it's on a double ball peg that barely works because the neck is angled. It's not straight, which in Rivals he's sort of hunched over, but it's not exactly straight and stuff like that. So the additional down is thanks to this neck and stuff like that, and the sanding is thanks to the neck being, angled in a certain way. But when he goes up, he looks a little weird because he can't look up. He can't look up at all, actually. He can't look up. He can look down. That's really all he could do. And he can go side to side, which is fine. But I don't understand why this guy was priced at such a price range where there's lack of paint on mine. Actually, I think this chip... No way. Did this... It just chipped off. Are you joking? I barely touched it and it chipped off. What the hell? Okay. Well, that... Jesus Christ. So, when I bought this guy, I was pretty disappointed because I was like, damn, I like really wasted $40 on this. And I'm starting to, at first I was playing around with him after doing the torso mod, and I was like, I'm starting to like it. Now I don't know how I feel, because that's unacceptable. I'm barely scratching it, and it should not be doing that. I'm actually amazed by that. I was gonna give this figure a pass, and now I'm actually pissed off that that's even a thing on official figure. Whatever. Yeah. So that's great, but his arms can go out this much. His bicep rotates. It's a double jointed bicep, which it's really good. The wrist is on the hinge. That's a vertical hinge, which is very good in my opinion, especially with the accessories he comes with. Like I said, with the head, he can't do much going up, but he can look down and side to side. You can go side to side on the torso thanks to the modification that I did. And here you can do a double splits, which isn't that bad. You can go up that much, which is really good. You can go back just a little bit. He can kick himself in the back like that. Excuse me. Goes up, goes down, and then there's the ankle pivot. Yeah, aside from like that, which I'm being very honest with you guys, I literally didn't scratch it on purpose like that. I literally just did a little scratch test, and I did not expect that to be the case. That, and another thing with this figure is he does feel sort of gummy. I don't get what Marvel's doing, Marvel Legends and Hasbro's doing with that. But it's whatever. But Moon Knight comes with this cape, which is fine. I do like it for the most part. It's, it's just a standard plastic Marvel Legends cape and whatnot. He comes with two Eskrima sticks, which I don't mind. I don't remember Moon Knight ever using these. I know in Rivals he has them as his melee, which, it's okay. I'm more so like it when he's actually punching somebody with his bare fist, but it's whatever. And then he comes with his two, they're called Moon Crescent darts, but if you really look at them, these look like it's like that type of knife. I forgot what it was called, but it looks like that type of knife. If you like cut the hole there, and like the finger knife, I don't remember what it's called. I don't think it's called a chakram, but these are just crescent darts. They're not painted or nothing like that, and I don't really know if they are in the game, if they have any detailing to it, but that's there. And then he comes with his gliding moon thingy, his moon cape, his gliding cape, which this is the reason why this figure is priced at $40, because you get this big plastic piece of junk, right, that, is like, it's okay. I mean, I'm gonna put him on him right now and whatnot, and you can do this and whatnot. You can have him look like that and do the MVP. As you can see, like, that arm is about to come out, which is not good. You can have him do the MVP a little bit, just not by much and whatnot. This is probably like my worst posing, and I'm not even trying to do it on purpose. I'm literally trying to get this guy going, but here it is. Like I said, I'm not one to really complain too much. I try not to complain. I try to critique a figure as best as I can and whatnot. That's like not a custom. I know with customs I'm like a little more lenient, but to be honest, when it comes to, like, if I'm actually going out my way to buy something and you're pricing it at such a high price and it's not coming out great, yeah, I'm gonna be very brutally honest. This figure, in my opinion, if I had to pick between the $27 blockies I bought that I have yet to open yet versus this, we'll see. because there's zero damn reason why the Blockies figure should be doing a little better than the Hasbro figure. I'm gonna say that right now. But let's do some quick size comparisons on what I got on my table here. Here it is next to my Storm Arena Charlie Nash. And before we say anything, and I do want to say this comparison, this guy is roughly $35.40 due to the new market pricing of the Storm Arena figures. This guy here is $40. Charlie comes with quite a bit for $40, and he comes with 2 darts, 2 batons, and then the 2 capes. If I had it my way, or if I was going to say ideally how I'd make a Rivals Moon Knight, make the cape a cloth cape. Make it a cloth cape. Actually add better articulation to the torso and maybe some butterfly joints, and make the plastic a lot better so it's not gummy and it feels like it's going to fall apart in my hand. Those are the only 2 things I would change. Literally, the diaphragm should have been how I did it. Add butterfly joints and then a cloth cape. I would pay the extra money for it, since, I mean, I'm paying, even though it makes no sense because this guy is $34. He's cheaper than him, and he comes with a lot more, and he poses a lot better than this guy. I know I sound a little hostile, but I'm just saying, if I want to get my money's worth, I'm going to pay for this figure, then pay for that one. That's all I'm saying. In terms of, 1/12 scale figures. And I'm really trying to be a lot more lenient with Hasbro, but when I'm seeing stuff like the Legend of Zelda line, that looks pretty good. And then you're giving me this you're giving me this shit. Yeah. Here he is next to my custom Ryo Sakazaki. He's a little crouched right now, but here he is next to Dan, which kind of fits the scale a little more. I wanted a Moon Knight figure because I am trying to plan out a stop motion, since I am going to get back into that sometime. But, oh man, I really didn't want the Revoltech, and I really was hoping this guy would be good. But, unfortunately, that's not the case. I'm whatever with it, though. I mean, if I had to give this figure a scale from like 1 out of 10, I'd give it like a 6.6. I'll give it a 6. $40, like, fist hands would have been cool. I don't even want like the open crazy hands. Fist hands would have been cool. A cloth cape. The diaphragm should have been how, especially since there's no diaphragm cut here, like he can't twist his torso around, so that's all one piece. This should have been a lot better with going forward and side to side to at least compensate for that. Butterfly joints, literally just, if this figure had butterfly joints, the diaphragm how I did it, and then a cloth cape, I wouldn't complain too much. But I know the cloth cape thing, I don't think Hasbro really does that, but if anything, it's just better the articulation on the figure itself. The capes I'm whatever about. I do apologize, since I really didn't want to make it this a negative video, since like I said, for me, I do like this figure, but if I'm going to be honest with you, as someone who's critiquing this figure, is this figure really worth the $40 price tag? No. I'm going to be very honest with you, this is not worth $40. I would literally say, I mean, Jesus Christ, I think the Walmart exclusive Moon Knight that came out, the white one, was like maybe $27 and came with a little more. So yeah. But thank you guys so much for watching. I will do some photos at the end. Next video, it will be a little more positive, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.